acknowledge they were pretty good late against Chicago, and my eyes were there set on.
I'm glad that 70 games into a dominant season, one trip to Chicago to watch them and watch Jayson Tatum has you sold on this team as a legit contender.
Well, I have said they're going to roll through the East. I don't have any question. And I do think they're deeper than Denver. I do like to go, every year I go to a couple games, and there is a different perception when you go to games. My takeaway was, and it's always been with Tatum, I know he's great. I've said, all NBA, got no problems. Late game stuff, take it over. And Chicago's more talented than people think. They actually have real NBA players. They're young in spots, but they have some players. The one thing I saw with Tatum, first guy out at 5'10", first guy out on the floor, both teams working hard, like first guy by like 25, 30 minutes. The second thing was, in the late game situation, he wanted the ball. He just like, give me the ball. And there's also, and I kind of knew this, but there is a gap in this league, as you know. Outside of Steph Curry, think how smart the Warriors are run. They don't have another guy that can give them 25 points.
Yeah.
Tatum is clearly in an elite class of, give me the ball, I'm always going to get my shot.
Yeah.
That was very clear in that game. And I think, with that said, I may be uncomfortable at times, but I don't think Boston's uncomfortable with anything about Tatum.
No, they're satisfied with him being a distributor at times in those situations because he has the horses to throw the ball to. I mean, Jaylen Brown has closed the gap, I think, this year even more between himself and Jayson Tatum. Kristaps Porzingis averaged 20 this season. Drew Holiday has proven he can make big shots in big moments. If you don't have an open look or if you don't have the play that you want, passing the ball is the right play. And look, the criticism of Boston over the last few weeks really has boiled down to, is Jayson Tatum a closer? And you know this. You can find stats to back up any argument. And I've seen some of Jayson Tatum's, the clutch time stats aren't as good as some of the top tier guys. How about the eyeball test? How about we go with that? Did I fall asleep last year during the conference semifinals when Jayson Tatum went off in the fourth quarter of an elimination game in Game 6? Did I miss that Game 7 against the 76ers when Tatum went for, 51 in that game? The 3 games that the Celtics won against Miami, Jayson Tatum scored like 85 points in those 3 games. And I'm convinced he would have had a breakthrough performance in Game 7 if he didn't get hurt on the very first play of that game. So this idea that Jayson Tatum is somehow on another tier of clutch player than some of the other guys we regularly talk about, to me, is ridiculous.
Well, the other thing I will say about Tatum is Luka doesn't defend. Tatum does.
Yes. He has gotten measurably better over the last few years.
Yeah, so the other thing is, unlike Biggs, Tatum doesn't get hurt much. He's there every night. So there are a lot of things. Some of this is jousting and it's fun, but I did want to go see him in person. So I saw him in person last year, and I do. I like to watch guys in person, see the body language. Jason's a very confident guy. And the one thing that really is so true when you watch the Celtics play, there's so much culture. Golden State's got a lot of this because it's a lot of the same guys. Boston has this too. Al Horford is a classic example. Boston's ball movement, Chicago's young. Now, Andre Drummond's not young. There's a lot of young guys. They're perpetually rebuilding. When you watch Boston in crisis moments, end of the clock, end of the game, their ball movement, you can tell these guys have been in a lot of practices together. And a Derek White, a lot of guys that don't get pub. So I just thought it was interesting to me watching without 3 starters, and yet the backup guys, it's like they practice with the ones all day. Their ball movement, I thought, was exceptional.
Well, yeah, and this is the paradox of you right here, where part of you wants Jayson Tatum to go 1-on-3, to be, Jordan in the 80s and just go after it every time he has the ball in clutch situations. But you just named Derek White's another guy who makes big shots and is comfortable in the moment.
16 a night, nobody pays attention to him.
Everyone knows that if Derek White is open or if Drew Holiday is open, that is a better shot than Jayson Tatum getting a soft double team thrown his way that forces up a contested 2. He makes the right plays every single time. That's not always going to manifest itself in a game-winning shot, but it's going to manifest itself in an assist or a hockey assist or something that gets it done. Jayson Tatum all season long has made great plays for this team.